One thing I want to point out that you guys do was the video foundation work where you guys were actually going over and doing the review of different riding mistakes and different riding how-tos, maybe some like examples of, hey, this is how it should be executed, and kind of giving praise to people that were doing it right in all class levels, which again, usually the slower classes are the ones that have the better technique because they don't have the bad habits that are forming quite yet. And I don't think enough people understand how beneficial that is. I know when we were developing bikes with Showa, and we were doing like the intensive training with Yamaha champions and all this other stuff. I can't tell you how informative the video work was. And not only that, but we had computers hooked up to the bikes. We were going over travel, suspension. We were going over lean angle, clutch actuation, all of this stuff that really, really mattered. And the fact that you're offering that to like, riders of all levels, not just top Yamaha champions, but like kids in C class, kids that are in 85, 65s. It's such an important detail to be able to see yourself and break down that evaluation. That's what top riders are doing between practices. They're doing that every time you see your rider go into the rig after their practice. They're watching video. They're watching video after qualifying. They're watching video in between races. So the fact that you guys are offering that on top of foundation training, on top of a week that's already awesome, man, what a value adder that is to people. And have you seen a huge impact in that or benefit from that from the past week from the video reviews?
Yeah, the video review is huge. And that's a good point that I think a lot of people forget that the pros are watching a lot of footage of themselves. And
Mhm.
especially on race day, that's basically all of their time is spent off the bike in the rig watching themselves and their
Yeah.
teammates and their competition on the track and studying it. And two things. First of all, for the warm up, going back to the warm up, a lot of people complain to me that they get arm pump and then they can't get going fast the first few laps. Basically, their biggest complaint is I just it takes me too long to get rolling. My first
Mm.
moto is a waste, or my first half of my first moto is a waste. I'm
Mhm.
like, well, have you ever warmed up?
Yeah.
If you do an efficient warm up, it's going to change that first race altogether.
Mhm.
But yeah, film study. So we did something different this time. We did a film study session with everybody together in June, or for the June camp,
Mhm.
which was a blast and a really good opportunity for people to start creating awareness about what they look like on the bike and learning by watching other people.
Mhm.
Okay, what are the common themes? Oh, wow, this whole night we just had 25 people up on the screen and 20 of them were riding flat-footed. Okay, maybe
Mm.
this is something I should be aware of. So they start to notice those common themes. I do kind of like, I get them really involved, right?
Mhm.
So I'll say, all right, hey Ryan, pause it right here, and then I just go, okay, what do we see? What do we see, good or bad? And we'll start getting feedback. Okay, his knees are too far forward. Good. Not fingers aren't on the controls. Cool, great, good observation. And they just start to create that awareness. What we did different for the July camp is that we split the film study sessions into blue, red, and green group, which are our three groups for the 5-day camps.
Mhm.
And so they got a session just with themselves, which I think was even better because they had a better chance of seeing footage actually of them. And then I think, especially by midweek, by end of week, they were so familiar with their group and knowing
Mhm.
who people were that I think it made it cool because they'd be like, oh, okay, Johnny is doing this. Okay, Zoe was doing this.
Mhm.
Naomi is doing this. Joe is doing this. And they just start to figure out where everybody's weak points are, where their strong points are. And again, it comes down to awareness. You have to know, first of all, what the heck to try and do to fix the problem with your body. And then you have to be aware of what your body is actually doing when you're out there on the track.
Mm.
And what I find when people come to these classes is they don't have a clue. I mean, I can get somebody on the stand and I'm like basically trying to hit them into position to like get their hips to free up.
Mhm.
It's like, all you got to do is put your camera up,
Mhm.
put your phone up, get the bike on the stand and just play around with some stuff and you'll know, okay, yeah, that's not right. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
And start to form a little bit of that awareness. But it's so much fun. We live stream it in the app, so the app
Yep.
can get involved. People in the app can get involved. Or if people wanted to go home early because they were tired, they could flip on the app and watch their group right in the live stream. If you guys enjoyed that podcast clip, you can listen to full episodes on Apple Music and Spotify. And make sure, if you haven't already, join our community inside of the Moto Academy app. Go to the motoacademy.com today. I'll see you guys inside the community.